Serious.
During this year, our class experienced a tragedy as we lost one of our own. Amber, you were loved by so many. You are deeply missed. Please join us in a moment of silence and remain standing for the Oak Ridge alma mater. Thank you.
Good evening, parents, families, teachers, special guests, and friends. Welcome to the 2025 Oak Ridge High School commencement. Before I get too far into my speech, let me introduce myself. My name is Lily Shelton, and I had the pleasure of serving as the senior class president for this year. Because my mom has been teaching here for 19 years, I grew up in Oak Ridge High School. I remember getting decked out in my sparkly red dress in elementary school to go to prom. I felt so cool getting to dance with the juniors and seniors, and loading up a plate of free cookies and downing lemonade all night was definitely a highlight. I remember running up and down the giant hallways with the lockers looming over me. And that was just last semester. I'm just kidding, that was still elementary school. Even today, when I meet new faculty members and teachers, they say that they remember when I was born. And that is not an exaggeration. I hear I made some appearances in my baby carrier on more than one occasion. Revisiting childhood memories can often make me realize that the reality doesn't always live up to the recollection, but luckily that was not the case with Oak Ridge High School. Even though it is a great place in its own right, what really makes it special are the people. I have learned many lessons from the valuable friendships and teachers I've come to know. So when thinking about what messages to convey to this amazing class, I had trouble narrowing down what I wanted to say. Our lives right now are full of people asking us what we are doing next year, giving us advice on what to do in our post-secondary plans, and hoping we fulfill the dreams they've had for us since we were babies. While it is wonderful to have so many people invested in our successes, it is also exciting to figure out what resonates the most with us. So, here goes. Let's live a life of service and find a way to give back to whatever community we become a part of throughout our lives. Nothing helps puts life's challenges in perspective like helping those who might not have had the educational and social support that Oak Ridge has given us. Let's find something meaningful and be a servant leader. We have strengths, so use them to enrich others' lives. Snuggle the lonely dogs at the animal shelter. Play bingo at the senior center. Mentor younger children who need someone to look up to. Help others, and we may also receive the help we never knew we needed. Let's explore our potential. We are lucky to have both an incredibly strong foundation that this community has given us, while simultaneously having a chance at a fresh start and new adventures. Who we are now is not who we will be in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, or maybe even a couple months, and that is okay. Whoever we become, the world wants us, with all of our successes and failures, strengths and areas to grow, and victories and disappointments. We are unique, and we are loved. Finally, let's be bold. Mercifully, I've left the college essay experience in the rearview mirror, but one prompt stood out to me, asking me how I would dare to grow. So, I want to ask the same question. How will we dare to grow? How will we step outside of our comfort zones and take calculated risks to achieve great things? We live in a time where anything we can imagine is possible, but many people never grab those opportunities and make them their own. Whether it's fear of failure, lack of support, or anxiety about the unknown, it is easy to maintain the status quo. And you know what? Life will probably be fine. But when we dare to grow and be bold, life will be good. We deserve greatness, so go out and get it. Thank you. Each year, seniors from the graduating class compete to participate as class speakers. Our speakers for tonight's graduation are Peyton Updegraft and Andrew Coffey.
By the time my family had moved to Oak Ridge in 2019, we had moved 8 times. I was starting the 7th grade and I was at my 6th school. Growing up as a military child, I learned to make friends fast. I learned the easiest way to say goodbye to someone. But the main thing I learned was to keep shallow roots. The deeper the roots, the harder it was to leave. My life was always moving and changing. My shallow roots never had the chance to grow deep, which made depending on adults and peers difficult for me. When I was 11, I was diagnosed with dyslexia. My dad was deployed, and we were stationed in Alaska at the time. I had a teacher that year who had just started teaching, So having a dyslexic 5th grader in her class made teaching long division pretty difficult too. Right, Mr. Froning? Unfortunately, that teacher often singled me out from my peers, told me I would never be capable of keeping up with the other students academically. She even went as far as to making me read to the class on a timer, just to have her laugh at me when it would go off before I was even done reading. All of that being said, I came to the Oak Ridge school system pretty beat up. Well, I had wonderful teachers too. Some of those previous teachers caused some significant damage to my confidence and my self-esteem. However, if I could sum up these last 4 years at Oak Ridge High School, I'd say it was healing. Every teacher in this school, whether they know it or not, helped heal me. From the minute I walked through our halls for the first time, I was welcomed and encouraged. I was taught to explore my passions and my talents through so many different courses. I was constantly empowered by the teachers in our school, from Ms. Williams to Froning, Kolodny to Livesey, and so many more. I was embraced, dyslexia and all. And for the first time, I had teachers who invested in me and my education. They made me feel like I could, and so I did. And they did that for all of us. At one point in my life, the thought of ever taking an AP English or math class was unimaginable. Standing in front of all of you, giving a speech, and saying thank you to the school who poured so much into me and my classmates, that felt impossible. I don't know what the future holds for any of us. As we embark on life after Oak Ridge, some of us will start jobs or go to college, others will move away, while some stay right here at home. What I do know is that we have all been given an incredible advantage. Because we've spent 4 years learning from adults who truly care. We have all grown deep roots, and I know that moving this time will be much harder than it was before. So, to quote A.A. Milne, how lucky am I that makes saying goodbye so hard. So thank you to every teacher and person who invested in all of us over these last 4 years. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Andrew Coffey, and I'm honored to welcome friends, family, and the class of 2025 to this special occasion. While I have this fleeting opportunity, I would greatly appreciate just a moment to reminisce about a man who was very important in my life. In 1965, my grandfather, Masanori Murakami, was driven by passion to immigrate to America from Japan. His passion, fueled by a desire for knowledge and discovery, led him to MIT, where he pursued his doctorate in nuclear energy. And not even 24 hours after his graduation, he threw his wife and newborn son in a trailer and sent a long road trip down south to the humble city of Oak Ridge. It was in this fabled secret city that he secured a job at ORHS, where he worked with his entire being for 40 years. Past grievances, present social issues, it hardly mattered to my grandfather. His dedication and passion for nuclear research helped him find purpose and set up a path to a new life for his children and grandchildren. Today would have marked my grandfather's 85th birthday. Masanori Murakami passed away around a year ago. His story of dedication and passion resembles the stories of those who have resided in the secret city ever since its creation. Coincidence, fate, or whatever you want to call it, I believe every single one of us graduating today has been connected by this community built on the dedication and passion of those who have come before us. Every day for the past 4 years, we've walked the same hallowed halls as our classmates and those who graduated years or even decades ago. Despite our differences in physical appearance, beliefs, backgrounds, and experiences, Oak Ridge has provided all of us with a cultural melting pot where we can chase our passions freely alongside each other to not only improve ourselves, but also strengthen our interpersonal bond as a community. It took me until after my grandfather's passing to really acknowledge it, but that bond of community has manifested stretches across the city in ways I've previously taken for granted. In January, I ate at the Magic Walk, a small restaurant run by an older couple for as long as ever since my mother went to Oak Ridge High School. In February, I watched my fellow students in our storied drama club, Maskers, dedicate months of their lives to the performance of a happy, sad, and unforgettable show. In March, I heard the cheers of my past teammates and the screams of many shirtless teenage boys with my number painted on their chests at a home soccer match. And in April, I listened to the hollow ring of a lone bell at the Civic Center, symbolizing a new era for our city, dedicated to the preservation of peace and friendship worldwide. As I stand on the stage overlooking the city, the echoing gong of the bell still rings in my head as I recall my grandfather and the countless souls, passions, and stories brought together into this one secret city, creating the community I've grown to love. Sorry, was that too long and cheesy? You're still listening? If not, that's completely understandable. It's like the third speech in a row. But even if you don't remember my face or name once I leave this podium, I want the graduating class of 2025 to remember one last thing. Just as passion and dedication have led countless lives to Oak Ridge, our ambitions will lead us towards new experiences and new communities all across the world. Occasionally, when life seems to move too fast and stress seems to cloud the future, think back to the places, experiences, and people that shaped you into who you have become. Embrace your past and walk on towards the future with hope in your heart, knowing countless others have followed a similar path and you'll never walk alone. Congratulations to the class of 2025, and for one more time, I'd like to say thank you, Oak Ridge.
Good evening. Family, friends, and most importantly, my classmates. My task is one that I've done many times before, but this time is different. Special and most important, and honestly the most difficult of them all. How do I introduce someone with so many titles? Someone who's your principal, mentor, best friend, and I guess most importantly, your dad. Well, here goes now. To some of you all sitting around, he's Dr. Hawkins, principal of Oak Ridge High School. To my parents, to my grandparents, he's their son. To my mom, he's her husband. To my brother DJ, he's dad. To my niece Lauren and Colson, and my nephew Colson, he's pops. To others, he's Dre, Dr. Dre, or even in Haywood County known as Coach. Or as many of you in these cardinal robes know him as the guy that says take your hood off before even saying hello. And let's not forget his all-time favorite line, wear your badge. If I had $1 for every time that I heard that in the hallway, I could have paid for everyone's college tuition, room and board. But to me, he's just dad. When times get tough, he's dad. When he gets on my nerves, he's still dad. Through every moment of my high school journey, whether I liked it or not, he's always been dad. He's the same dad who gave me pep talks in the kitchen and somehow turned on to full-on sermons with 3 points and a closing prayer. So, before he cries more than he already has, probably sitting in that seat, without further ado, let me please welcome our principal, Dr. Drayton Hawkins.
First, I'd like to say, before I get started, thank you to Edie for that introduction. And so for those of you who say I would cry like he did, and some of you may be betting how long it would last, go ahead and start your timers now. So before I get started, I'd like to recognize a few people. Without these people, we would not be here tonight. First, I would like to acknowledge the dedicated teachers at Oak Ridge High School. I would also like to recognize my entire team of administrators who go above and beyond to support our teachers and students. A special thank you to all of the parents and guardians who entrust us to educate and care for your children. We could not do this without you and your support. I must also thank Dr. Bruce Borchers, Dr. Kelly Williams for their continued support during my tenure as principal. Thank you to Ms. Jan Laurendine for her support as she has transitioned into her new role. And thank you to our school board for your support as well. Finally, I must recognize Mr. Russ Wise, senior class principal. And Ms. Ashley Benowitz, senior class counselor. As you can tell from the cheers, they have worked tirelessly with this group of students to ensure that they could reach this milestone. To the class of 2025, this is a moment that you have been waiting for, graduation. A day that most of you have been planning on since the beginning of this school year, maybe since the beginning of your freshman year. And as Aiden already said, A day that you would not hear me say again, where is your badge? So tonight, you stand on the edge of something new. Some of you are a little nervous. Some are a little excited. Maybe a little bit of both. And all of that is normal. High school graduation marks the close of a chapter that you have known your entire life. As I stand here before you tonight and celebrate the achievements of this class, I can't help but think back to your freshman year, our first year. I came to ORHS much like you probably did, unsure about what I was embarking upon. Over these past 4 years, all of us have grown together, and much has changed for each of us during this time. As a principal, one of my most rewarding parts of my job is watching students grow into themselves, not just academically, but personally. I've seen many of you face challenges that would make most people want to give up. And I want you to hear this clearly. You did not give up. And by not giving up, you are here tonight, about to enter the next chapter of your life. But I also know for some of you, self-doubt has been a constant companion. It's that quiet voice that says, you're not ready, or you'll never be good enough. That voice can be loud, especially when the future feels uncertain. And tonight, I want to say something simple, but essential. Do not let self-doubt paralyze you. You are more capable than you know, and every step you've taken to get to this moment, every test you finished, every paper you turned in, and every time you got back up after a setback is proof of that. From this day forward, you have moments where you will wonder if you're on the right path. That's a normal part of life. Whatever you do, don't let those voices that creep into your head paralyze you. Keep moving forward toward the goals that you have set. Henry Ford, who is most often known for his Ford vehicles that still exist today, is quoted as saying, if you think you can or think you can't, either way, you are right. This quote highlights the power of the mindset, and belief in achieving goals. Ultimately, your belief in your ability to succeed will influence your actions and determine your outcome. The next thing that I hope you remember is that comparison steals joy. In a world that constantly pushes us to compare, test scores, social media, colleges, careers, it is easy to feel like someone else is always ahead. You all have grown up in a world that consists of TikTok, Snapchat, and probably some others that I'm too old to worry about. On these social media platforms, people usually show you the part of their life that they want you to see. Be careful not to compare yourselves with others, because all comparison does is distract you from what really matters, which is doing your best, growing at your own pace, and finding your purpose on your own terms. Some of you tonight are headed to universities, some to the workforce, some to the military, trade schools, or even gap years, which I never heard of before a few years ago. All of those are valuable. There is no single right way forward. The only wrong path is the one that isn't true to you. So don't rush your journey along trying to match someone else's timeline. Trust yourself, stay curious, and have the courage to take the next right step, whatever that looks like for you. Remember to run your own race. I think I'll say that one more time. Remember to run your own race. That phrase got me out of my doctorate program. There were many people in my cohort that finished months before I did. But at the end, we all graduated on the same day. As you begin this next step of your journey, know that true education never ends.
Alexander Welch. Elijah Brody Wells. Edie Kaylin Weston. Monica.
Business number one. Second order of business, which all of you are ready for. Before we do this, I want to say one thing, and he wouldn't want me to say this. So I'm going to let the cat out the bag on something. So this is, Mr. Wise is retiring. And so he's going to move on to his next part of his life. He didn't want you all to know that before graduation because in typical Mr. Wise fashion, he didn't want to be a distraction. But I felt I would be wrong if I didn't let you all know. So I just like the public to say,
Thank you, Mr. Wise, for all that you have done for these students. Thank you to Ms. Benowitz for all that she has done for each and every one of you. So at this time, if you'll stand, Mr. Wise will take care of the rest. Don't do anything until Mr. Wise tells you to. He's left one last thing.
All right, you all came in, students. Now you are alumni. Let's move those tassels. Congratulations.